Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Drinks and Days. We are back after our hiatus, and we've just got a huge crowd here that just immediately, amazingly, just shut up, just like that. Wasn't that amazing? It
Well,
just stopped.
well, you put down the cue card and then,
Oh, that's right. That's it. How you doing, Dave?
I'm a little worried. Everything
Uh-oh.
was fine until you asked me, "Hey, you guys getting any rain yet?" And I look at the weather app, and sure, I go, "Hey, it says it's supposed to start raining in 45 minutes." And
Uh-oh.
then while our intro was running, it says light rain will start in 11 minutes. So we'll see what happens. This could be a short show, Dave.
Well, if nothing else, I mean, there'll be electrocution. Well, we've got a number of people in the lounge tonight, so please say hello, everybody. Remember that you guys are part of what drives this exciting and throw-packed show each and every week. And
Oh.
Spider is here, and I'm sure that means Amber is here.
Hey, Spider.
How's it going? So, as most of you know, we did not have a show last week because one of us was feeling just a tad under the weather. And there's Rich.
Hold on. Rich.
And
Good to see you, buddy.
Tig Lily and Steven's here. Thank you
The
for
whole
joining us.
gang.
The whole gang's all here.
Whole gang's all
So,
here.
how was your week? Or the beginning here? See, my days off are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So this is like the end of my weekend.
I know. Do you feel like it's a Monday when you go back to work, or it's like halfway through the week? And
You know, I love what I do so much. It's just like going to a party.
yeah, shut up.
It really is. I mean,
I know.
shucks! I got to get up and go cut hair and shave people.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Hello, Panteja. Welcome.
I don't know. Yeah, this week has just been my wife's going into work a little bit later, so it's one of those mornings where I'm up and the only one, leaving the house, and it's just I just don't wanna. It's all right.
What time do you have to be to work? 7?
I'm usually at work by 7.
Okay.
And this is not, believe it or not, this is not natural. This takes a while to get ready in the morning. So,
Well, I'll give you my opinion when we start the show.
when we started, Dave.
We're
live. We're live.
So what are we drinking and smoking this evening?
I got a Arturo Fuente Gran Reserva cigar.
Nice. What size?
I don't know. It was a Churchill. Now it's half gone. It's
okay.
Half a, yeah.
And drinking? What are you drinking?
Kill Holman. I always hate doing this. I don't have the blue screen, so you can't see it.
Kill Holman?
Oh, there you go. Kill Holman Makier Bay. I've been thinking about this one, and I even got the step stool out and went to the back of the warehouse to pull it out for tonight.
Well, and I noticed tonight that PB is kind of slumming a little bit. He's drinking bourbon, Woodford Reserve Double Oak. For me, I've got a special cigar. This, for those people that follow me on YouTube, my other channel, and on the Cadre, I had a client of mine. Hello, Amber. I had a client of mine give me about 7 sticks that he stopped smoking, but he kept him in the humidor and kept him in good shape. And he had not touched these for almost 12 to 15 years.
Beautiful.
So yeah, and this is a Gurkha. I don't know which one it is because I don't normally smoke Gurkha, but it is amazing. Just to show you how it aged for those people that know cigars, if you can see that brown
oils,
all the oils coming out of that in the cellophane, and it is delicious. And then you've given me so much crap about being a teetotaler that I'm actually having
crap. I'm just worried about you, buddy.
I'm having a beer.
Right.
I guess you could call it a beer. Well, yeah, it's a keto beer kind of. It's
malt flavor.
No, it's a Modelo. I mean, it's a Modelo because we had Mexican food for dinner, so it's a Modelo, but it's got like 3 carbs, which means it tastes basically like water.
You know what's funny is we fret over storage of cigars and the right humidity and stuff. And I took a long hiatus in my cigar smoking, but I still had one desktop humidor with several cigars in it that just sat out in the garage for like a decade or something.
Really?
Didn't do anything to it. Hot and cold, they were dry as heck. And then when I got back into it, I humidified them back up and they were fine.
Really?
So it's kind of one of those things that we probably fret a little bit more than we need to.
Well, it depends on how hot, but see where you're at, it doesn't get above 75 degrees, so you were probably okay. Now, if you would have left them in a garage here in Arizona,
Yeah.
there would have been
Spontaneous.
beetles. Yeah, there would have been beetles the size of cockroaches in there. But
Well, that they have to exist there in the first place. Do you remember when spontaneous combustion was like a hot topic? That's funny because there was like news stories and photos
well,
and
there was
all the
that.
scientific reasons
Yeah,
why.
there was that one lady that was sitting there watching TV.
Yeah.
And then they showed just basically
It's her
her outline where she, burned.
What happened to that? I missed the spontaneous combustion story.
I guess maybe certain chemicals that we don't use anymore don't happen. I don't know. Either that or somebody just torched her and didn't tell anybody.
It just made me think about that.
Yeah. Well, and what's everybody else drinking and smoking? I don't know how many cigar smokers we have. I know we have 1, 2.
No, you've done a Woodford double oak. Yeah. I mean, that's a basic, like entry level bourbon. Yeah.
Right. Well, before we get into the real topic of our show, let's get this out of the way. So what we want everybody to do is, who are you rooting for? This is a two-part question. Number one, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? Now, looking at the list, I can already see some people I know. And two, are you going to be watching it? I'll go first. I'm going to be rooting for San Francisco, and no, I will not be watching it.
What?
No.
Really?
And here is the first opinion that may be unpopular. The commercials have began to suck.
Well, we've talked about that.
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about so. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, and so I'm going to expound on this when we get into the unpopular opinions. I don't care who wins the Super Bowl, really, just because of the family here. I'll be kind of rooting for the 49ers during the game, but I do pretty much watch the Super Bowl just to get to the commercials.
Now, do you guys plan a big spread with like all the healthy food, chicken wings, and
we do the snackies, we do the vegetables and dip and chips, yeah, all the junks. Well, PB, so here's the deal. So let's get into this because I think you agree, and I mentioned this, is that I'm not a big sports guy. And I used to just watch the Super Bowl because they had the best commercials.
Right.
But the last few years, the commercials, after the commercial break, I'm like, what? Where's the good ones?
Right.
And I think it's weird for how much they pay.
$1 million a minute, I think. Something to that effect. And talking about the one with the red uniform. That's politically correct.
Yeah.
No, and the other thing that has bothered me is one, and this is an opinion, but if you're going to sing the national anthem, sing it the way it was intended. I don't need to hear all these crazy extra falsettos, these crazy extra, I don't need to hear that. Sing the national anthem, salute the flag, and shut the hell up. That's the way it should be. And to follow up on that, the halftime shows have begun to really suck because they spend more money on the halftime shows than they do on the game. The halftime shows are terrible. Okay, there's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's gotten to be like it used to be. Commercial breaks is when you took your bathroom breaks, and at least for the Super Bowl, it used to be that's when you didn't want to leave because you might miss the commercial that everybody's watching, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to talk about. But now, at least for me, it's like the halftime show. That's when you get up and go do your stuff.
Exactly. So John says no commercials this year. Taylor Swift bought all the time.
Could you imagine? She totally could. Could you imagine?
Yeah, she could buy it. She could buy it all and say, "Hi, I'm Taylor Swift. I'll see you in 2 minutes."
The Super Bowl brought to you by.
Well, and the bad part about it is because I know we have two very, 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 very staunch Chiefs fans in here, and in a way, it's kind of bad because she's the one that's getting the majority of the press. The jokes about the Kansas City Swifties, and I'm the first one to admit that I've jumped on that bandwagon. But enough about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
So hey, we're into sports.
Okay.
So let's do. We were going to do unpopular opinions by topic. So sports.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have? I've got several, like sports and music. Those are my biggest ones for me. Do you have an unpopular?
An unpopular sport?
Sports opinion, an opinion related to sports that most people disagree with.
Well, it's a little bit too early for this, but yes, I think baseball players should be clean cut, hair above the ears, shaved, except unless they have a handlebar mustache. And I think that they should wear the stirrups, the shorter pants with the stirrups. To me, that is baseball. It's gotten it's gotten sloppy.
It's gotten so. I kind of agree. I mean, I guess they're individuals, but it's the same thing with a lot of the football players too. They got the big beards, the long hair. The long hair ticks me off because they can be tackled by that.
Oh yeah, you can
So
grab
that
it. Yeah.
seems like if I was the coach, knowing that they're adding something that the other team can grab onto seems like a bad decision for the game.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, let's back up a little bit because it seems like football is still. So I'm going to post a lightning round. So Lady Gaga did the national anthem, and yes, she did it pretty well as long as she's not dressed like a demon. Amber brings up a good point. I hope Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Let's see. Okay, here's an unpopular. Taylor Swift is annoying. She's no Loretta Lynn. Okay. Tiger Lily, can Taylor pull off a meat suit? That's true. Only Lady Gaga can pull off a meat suit.
Did she wear a meat suit? Did I miss that?
Yeah, she wore a meat suit at some award show. But I really started respecting Lady Gaga when she did American Horror Story, and then also when she did that movie. Oh God, I can't think the name of it. Won an Academy Award. Somebody posted
the music one.
Yes, and she did a really good job. So that's my football. That's my football or my baseball thing. Is that I think that they've taken the sport, and I think you brought it up very well. Is that sports they've gotten sloppy. I mean, I remember, and I'm no huge Cowboy fan, but the one thing I respected about the Dallas Cowboys is Tom Landry, when he was head coach, was in a suit, a tie, a fedora, and he expected his players. Yes, thank you, Pate. A star is born. He expected his players to act a certain way on the field. If their shirt came untucked, they were fined $1,000. And that's just gone now.
Yeah. All right, so I got one for you.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion is, and I've said this before, and I know this just sounds like a grumpy old man,
which you are, but that's
which I am.
Yes.
Is that people that refer to a team as we, right? And I've said this in other times. I get the whole it's fun to feel like you're part of it and it makes it more exciting for you to watch and stuff. But it's also weird that people will root for a team that's just physically close to where they live. What does that have to do with your enjoyment of that team? And the people that play on that team come from all over the country. They're just hired, right, by some dude that works out of a stadium that's near you.
Well, I think everybody wants to be a winner, and I think that's, sometimes, I mean, you can tell a true fan by like the people that are true Detroit fans or people that are true Cub fans. They waited almost a half a century for stuff to happen. But I think people like to be the fair weather fan. They may not watch football or touch football the rest, but watch what happens during the Super Bowl. Everybody comes out, look, our team. But I see it both ways. I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm like, all that ad revenue that I'm spending when I go see stuff, and am I subsidizing the team? Yeah, kind of. If I live in the city, we don't live in the city, so we don't.
Well, but the same thing can be said, right? Is like the whole underdog, and they haven't been to the Super Bowl, or they haven't been to the World Series for 40 years. It ain't they, because it's a different coach, totally different team. It's not the same team that hasn't gotten there 20 years ago.
Well, and I think what's happened, there was somebody who made a comment on a forum. No, it was on the cadre that football was fixed because the viewership and the ratings of football has been tanking, as is all sports. And I think they said it was rigged because Taylor Swift will actually make the Super Bowl probably one of the most watched events because it's her.
Maybe. Maybe it's just that whatever. Why are we're just spending too much time already on Taylor Swift? I know that Pantea said that there's all these conversations about is she going to make it to the Super Bowl? Who cares?
Exactly.
That poor little rich girl.
Well, and that's but she, I will give her props in this case. When she was doing just country music, she was fine. I liked some of her music, but when she crossed over, and then now, and in fact, to me, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but when she got completely snubbed at the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards for her movie, a little tiny evil part of me was laughing inside.
Well, and whatever. All right.
Okay,
you have any other sports ones?
Yes, but it hasn't really happened yet. If you follow golf, they're going to spend millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars because they're afraid the viewership is starting to go away because players are getting better and better and better. So they've gone back to the ball manufacturers, and the ball manufacturers have to change the golf balls so that people aren't hitting the ball as far or being able to spin the ball as well. And to me, that's just stupid. I mean, if you're good enough to do it, doesn't matter what the equipment is. I mean, like with Tiger Woods, you could give him a stick and a tennis ball, and he would still be good. So that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I get about that because they kind of do the same thing with racing, right? The cars got faster and faster, so they restrict them so they don't go as fast. But that is more of a safety issue, mind.
Well, yeah, you're not. I mean, I doubt very seriously that a golfer is going to get killed if he has a high performance golf ball. I mean, I guess somebody down the course could get beamed by it, but that's more funny than.
No, I agree with you. That's the thing. Yeah, if you're getting better and you can have better control, and I mean, it's not like they're hitting hole in ones all the time. So what's the difference? So cornhole. I already went off on cornhole for a long time.
My problem with the whole thing is the name.
The name is ridiculous. Okay, yeah. I got another unpopular opinion. Well, not with everybody, but I think with a group of people that we talk with a lot, I like professional sports way better than college sports because if I'm wanting to watch them play, I want to watch the best of the best of the best, not like some, I wouldn't watch televised high school, which some people, I get it. Some people, it's just the love of the game and the competition. But I've heard the other argument is, well, these folks aren't in it for the millions of dollars. It's the love of the game. Well, first of all, no, they're in it. They're getting a free education. They're probably hoping to make the pros and all this stuff. Well, but it's but don't you want to watch the best?
Yeah, but see, sometimes I don't think that the pros are the best, and I'll explain that because nowadays, because of the new collegiate rules, you may have a sophomore in college that's going to be a multimillionaire because they are now allowed to be compensated. So that's taken, and that one of the reasons why I've not really watched a lot of pro sports is for that reason. The salaries are absolutely stupid for what they do, in my opinion. And, this may be unpopular, but when a college professor makes $150,000 a year, tenured, and a coach makes $7.5 million a year, and yet the professor is the one that's educating our people.
I get that, but that's just economics, right? Is that
sure.
People aren't going to that college for that professor, but they might be going for the football team, or that's what gets the name out there.
And John put up something back to the sports thing. No aluminum bats in the pros. I agree. I personally think there shouldn't be aluminum bats in any. So from youth baseball all the way through college and high school, it should be wood. I mean, there should be wooden bats. I mean, and I know they say that the aluminum bats are safe. No, you know what? No.
Screw safety.
Exactly.
Let the little kids get their heads knocked off.
Another sports opinion. I hate this sport.
Pickleball.
Because as most of the people know here, my barbershop is located in a community that pickleball is huge. In fact, Arizona just landed the World Pickleball Championships is going to be in Arizona.
Woo, buddy. Are you going?
No, but apparently it's the number one sport in the world right now, and it's like,
do they have stadiums there? Like
they're building a pickleball stadium, and I'm sorry, either play tennis, play racquetball, or go to the beach and play with a wiffle ball. Other than that, no.
Wiffle ball. What you know? What I've seen, I don't know if it's professional or what, but competitive wiffle ball that adults play. Those guys put crazy spin on that ball. Have you seen those guys? That's amazing stuff.
Well, that's what they do in pickleball. I mean, you could be standing right in front of it, and somebody's really good, and they spin that wiffle ball, and that wiffle ball go off. Kinds of. I think here's another unpopular opinion. I think we should see more professional table tennis on TV. You watch some of those guys; it's incredible to watch. Like from Japan and stuff like that. Those guys are intense.
That's unpopular, Dave.
Well, what's the subject we're talking about?
I understand. Well, then that's right. I mean, I want to watch more curling.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
because I just love that just the follow through. It's actually, curling is very relaxing to watch. In fact, try this. The next time you're watching curling, turn off the sound and put on massage music. And you'll phase out to somewhere wonderful.
All right. You have any other sports?
No, I'm good with sports.
All right.
So,
music.
Okay. Oh, real easy. Pink Floyd's the best. Nothing else matters. They're done. There's my opinion.
Oh, well, I mean, they're pretty popular. I don't know if that's unpopular. Elvis drives me nuts. I can't listen to his voice.
Oh, now see, there's unpopular opinions. We need to rank that. You have an unpopular opinion that people just say, "Oh, you're full of crap." You have an unpopular opinion that gets you sent some type of poison in the mail. And then the third level would be somebody comes out and beats you. The Elvis one, I think, could be a dangerous one for you.
Well, I got one that's worse. But do you have a music one?
No, not really. I like all music.
All right. I hate the Beatles. Hate the voices. Maybe because I wasn't, alive at the when they were in their heyday. Maybe they evolutionized music and I don't get it, but they sound uninventive to me. They sound very kind of boring. All their songs sound very much the same. I don't get it. And I don't like it.
This is interesting because what I'm hoping will happen, although I don't think it will, what I'm hoping will happen is that somewhere from the shadows, don't take that down. Somewhere from the shadows, this arm is going to come out and slap you on the side of the head. Because what Pantea is saying is true. Elvis is an institution, as are the Beatles.
I understand it. And I understand they're super popular and everybody still loves them and all that stuff. But ask Pantea if she's ever played them in her car ever. Probably not. No.
I like this one. This sums it up. No, you can't leave, Amber, because this is why these are unpopular opinions. The Rolling Stones, I saw something earlier. The Rolling Stones, I agree. I think it's time for them to,
Now, I don't know enough about the Chili Peppers. They've got Under the Bridge, which I like. And are they the ones that do Californication, I think? I like those two songs, but those are the only two I know.
But your dad brings up a good point. Love them or hate them, they revolutionized.
Which is fine. That's what I said. Maybe they did change it, but now
you also have to break down the Beatles into different decades. Seriously, when they first came out, it was, for lack of a better term, bubblegum type, rock and roll. And then in the 60s, late 60s, they became the psychedelic. And some of their best music, in fact, I think that Lonely Hearts Club is probably one of the best albums that was ever written. But it was the time.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Somebody said rap crap. That's, I don't think with this group it would be unpopular for some reason it's super popular now, and I don't even understand it. Not just because of the type of music, but you can't understand the lyrics anymore.
Well, I think rap is gone, because when we were growing up, it was rap. And what I'm talking about, rap ended up being more what they call gangster rap, Ice-T. When they were taught, like Colors, there's a perfect example of a song, and Eminem, stuff like
All right,
that.
go ahead. I have a question for Amber.
The new stuff is more. I don't like the new stuff. I like the old stuff.
Right. From DMC, do they count as nowadays? That wouldn't even be rap to kids. That would be like
that would be
music, right?
yeah, that would be.
All right, so Amber, are you talking about current rap or the rap from like the 90s that you like, rap music? I'm here. But yeah, so our kids just had the winter formal last weekend.
Mhm.
And I said, how was it? And one of the complaints is that the first many songs they played were rap. And I said, well, how do you dance to rap? And she said, well, they just kind of twerk and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what the hell is that?
Okay, there's an opinion. Twerking. Don't like twerking.
No, that's such a weird. So you started with twerking, and now you watch like workout videos, and women have exercises specifically to make their booty bigger, which always you didn't want before.
Right.
It just seems weird.
Well, it's funny. Amber brought up the Beastie Boys. They were a crossover from what I would call the Will Smith type rap, intermixing it with some rock and roll, and I like the Beastie Boys. Next subject, please.
You got the buzzer. You got the big red.
Okay, wait. We got the buzzer. Hold on a minute. Let me find it. Let me find the buzzer. I know it's here somewhere. So we are. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to do a speed round.
Yeah.
I can't find the buzzer. It's here.
Well, right. So back in the day, you could understand what they were saying, right? They had some music behind it. I mean, it wasn't. All right.
Yeah, it's
Wrong.
I'm still trying to find the buzzer and I can't find it. I know it's here. There it is. Time to change. Okay, next subject. Go ahead.
Drinks.
Yes. You mean, is there anything I don't
well,
like?
So
yeah.
unpopular with. Go ahead.
Unpopular foo-foo drinks.
You don't like umbrellas?
No.
Wait.
No,
do you not like a daiquiri at all? Really?
No.
Margarita?
No, not really.
Not even on the rocks?
No, I'm not a big. I'm not a big. And I know that'll get me in trouble because somebody that I know very, very well loves margaritas.
Well, you don't have to drink the same thing. Don't ask for 2 straws, Dave.
I don't like or cream type drinks. Like
White Russian.
No.
All right. Yeah, I don't like bourbon. And I think we've kind of made that clear. And that's how I tried bourbon early on in my whiskey career during COVID. And I had the Woodford Double Oaked and all the basics, and they were like okay. And the more I drank scotch, the more I disliked bourbon. And it was really weird. I've gone back to some of the partial bottles I've had, and I can't stand it anymore. I hate bourbon.
Now, see, what's neat about Unpopular Opinions is they can be swayed. And this is something that would sway me. Would I have a Mai Tai with an umbrella if a naked Polynesian girl came up and stirred it? Well, see, that's different.
That's not what he said.
Well, that's the way I'm taking it. and it's not on the screen anymore, so I'm right. And, here's another one. Blasphemy. I don't know who Marguerite is, but I still don't like margaritas.
Too sweet. You don't like sweet drinks.
No. Now, this one, I don't know how you're going to react to.
I don't know. I've never had hot tang. And from what I had tang. I haven't had that since I was a kid.
Right.
I can't, because it's kind of thick. artificial orange juice, from what I
That's
recall, right?
well, that's like hot Dr. Pepper. They say that that's a wonderful drink, Dr. Pepper hot.
Have you had that?
Yeah, it's gross.
How are you supposed to heat up soda? Because if you microwave it, it's going to lose all its fizziness. You're going to
Yeah,
have hot, flat soda.
Yeah, it's a tea.
Tea. What happened? Do they still have orange or the orange drink at McDonald's? That used to be very popular.
Actually, the best orange drink that I remember was at Der Wiener Schnitzel.
The what?
At Der Wiener Schnitzel.
They had orange?
They had orange drink. Yeah.
I see. Unpopular. You don't like eggnog. Oh, wait.
Actually, no, that has changed.
Yeah.
My opinion on eggnog has changed. But I wasn't going to go through making the eggnog the way, because Chad was like giving me this recipe. No, I go to the store, I buy it, I put rum in it, done.
So what about Yoo-hoo? Thinking about old drinks.
No.
Does anybody here like Yoo-hoo? That was hot. You can still buy that in the stores. Yeah.
Chocolate water. No. Chocolate water.
Hot Tang is great. Phlegmy throat. Hot Tang.
Yeah.
That's just crazy enough. I would try that before hot Dr. Pepper, because like I said, you're going to have hot, flat Dr. Pepper, which just sounds nasty. Amber likes everything. Amber likes Yoo-hoo. Amber likes
and she likes Yahoo too. Okay, so I think opinion about since we did drinks, opinions about food. And let's start with vegetables, because that's usually the most polarizing. And I'll bring it up first. Brussels sprouts. Discuss. I love Brussels sprouts.
Oh, I love Brussels. I didn't. I do now. And I used to only like them with the thick vinegar, balsamic vinegar. Mm-hmm. Now steamed, whatever. I don't know. I like them.
Have you tried grilling them with bacon?
That I've gotten lazy. The first time I tried to make Brussels sprouts, I did it the right way with like pancetta in the oven and all that stuff. Now we just saute those things and now liver, that might be good. I've never actually had liver. I've had pate.
Oh, I love liver. Liver and onions.
Yeah.
Cauliflower I like.
Let's see, a vegetable that I don't like. I don't know that. Well, it's not a vegetable. I hate sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I used to. You gotta know for the cauliflower. It has a very distinctive taste, but it's not that strong.
I love cauliflower.
There's not many. I was gonna say when I thought we'd do food as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
A fruit makes me upset, and I avoid a lot of fruit because it's rolling the dice. Whether you're going to take a bite and get a nice sweet or ripe version of whatever you're eating, or it's going to be unripe, tart, and nasty. And I don't like rolling the dice every time I take a bite of something.
Yeah, but when you go to the store and you get oranges, there's a pretty darn good chance all the oranges are going to be sweet.
Not necessarily. Have you never had a sour orange?
No, because we grow our own.
Oh, you grow the special kind that just are ripe?
No, they're always wonderful. Yeah, they're always wonderful. Now, see, I like kale.
Yeah, kale I could do without. I don't mind a little bit, but when I don't like big that's a very strong flavored food. Yeah. Plus it makes everything green.
These are really more dislikes. They're not opinions. Okay. So here's an opinion. Anybody who is going to be traveling with you in close quarters, let's say camping or in an RV, who eats asparagus, the results at the end of the day aren't good because the asparagus wafts through everything.
What, you can smell that through their skin?
Okay, you've had asparagus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what happens when you go to the restroom?
Yeah, but you're not going in the tent.
No, but if you're in an RV with somebody who's had
Oh, and on an
asparagus,
RV or something.
yes.
All right. Well, so all right. Well, you're saying these are dislikes, but I guess I'm just saying a lot of people like fruit. And
Mhm.
PB, you can't tell me that you never had a big bunch of grapes and you're going through and the first 15 are nice and sweet and stuff, and then that 16th one you pop in your mouth and it's just sour and it just zaps you. That
Yeah, but when
pisses me off, so I don't
yeah,
want to
but
eat them
when
at
you
all.
yeah, but when you're at the grocery store, you pick a few grapes off the thing and you taste them first before you buy that whole thing.
No, but it's in there. You could have a whole whatever I just said. A bunch of grapes, and one of them could be sour in there. You don't know. Prove my point.
All right, so I think we've covered fruit and
Ooh,
vegetables
ooh.
and food. Um, so
Yes,
let's
you can't sample at the store, Dave. That's stealing.
no, because you end up buying it anyways.
But you buy by weight. So whatever you ate, you're not paying for.
Oh, please. And you don't
Huh?
think, and you don't,
Huh?
there's this thing called breakage. All stores have it built
Oh,
into
listen to you
stuff.
justifying stealing from the store.
I'm not stealing because I'm buying the grapes anyways. And if I buy the package of the grapes that I ate off of, I've paid for those grapes. That's like you've never been in a store and grabbed like some crackers and were really hungry and you open up the crackers and eat them before you get to the checkout station, but you still pay for them.
First of all, no. And second of all, there you're buying the whole box, even if it's empty, as long as you swipe it and you pay for it.
But see, here's the thing: your dad's right.
But,
And
but
we
most
actually,
stores
your dad
don't.
brought that up. Your
Most
dad brought
stores
that up
don't.
in the last
All
the
right.
last
So
episode.
look, there's an unpopular opinion.
Yes,
My opinion is you don't be stealing the fruit from the store.
you're paying for it.
All right.
Yes, and actually, John's right. I do that with 6 packs of beer too. I'll pay for 6. I may only have 3 in the cart by the time I get up there.
Don't the squeeze of the Charmin. All right.
Well,
What other?
I'm not testing the Charmin in the middle of the store.
I don't know.
I mean, that would
Tickle says you do.
That would be gross.
So other food ones. I've gotten a little bit more lenient for the most thing. I don't like steak, other than filet mignon.
Oh,
I don't like the T-bone. I don't like
really?
flank steak. I don't like the beefy,
Oh,
and it's not soft and it's not. Yeah.
Then you haven't had it cooked right. Because if you guys come out here, I will cook you a T-bone that will knock your socks off. And a certain individual in here will verify that. Here's another unpopular opinion that In-N-Out Burger is the best.
That's unpopular? I think that's unpopular in places that don't have In-N-Out burgers.
Well, I like In-N-Out Burger. Would I say it's the best? No. It's good, it's fresh, and it's consistent. But is it the best? No.
What's the best fast food burger?
To me, probably Whataburger.
Whataburger? Not Wahlburger. Whataburger.
No, Whataburger.
Okay.
They're out of Texas. You guys probably don't have them.
I haven't had that yet.
Although I will say one thing. Last week, one time, I did have In-N-Out Burger, but there was somebody online who said you have to order a Whataburger this way. And what you do is you go in there and you order a double or a single, whatever you want, but you order it without lettuce, without tomato, add animal style and grilled onions. Changes the whole makeup of the burger. And it was good.
So it's just meat, cheese, and onions?
Meat, cheese, onions, and that animal's stuff.
Oh, the sauce. Animal style is grilled onions.
Yeah, but you add more grilled onions on that.
Oh, extra.
Mm-hmm.
Extra. That might be, I might try that.
Yeah. It's just
that would be a big sloppy mess, but
actually, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
I'll try that. Here, let's throw this up here. This sounds controversial. Men make better chefs than women. Rich, are you stirring the pot, or is this an opinion?
Yeah, see, I don't I think that's an unpopular opinion. I don't know. I don't think it matters to me.
I never even thought of it, and I wouldn't know who's back there cooking my food most of the time. But I would have to think most, just from my limited knowledge, I would think most Michelin star chefs, the majority are men. Had never thought about it. But I think there's far more Michelin star chefs that are men than women. Not all.
That's a good point.
And here we see he's clearly off his rocker that White Castle's the finest.
Okay, here's the one that is good. We can end with on food, and then we can move on. Boom.
No.
I like pineapple on pizza. I think it's funny. Pineapple sausage and pizza.
PB, what if it's a big combo? What if you got everything on there, the sausage and the onions and the peppers and all that stuff, and there's some pineapple on there? Is that okay?
Well, I don't think he's saying he dislikes it. He's saying it's an unpopular opinion that most people, if you talk to them, they say pineapple on pizza is sacrilegious. I disagree. I think pineapple on pizza is wonderful.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
The best that I've had is pineapple, extra cheese, and a spicy Italian sausage. Good stuff. Yes, round tables, Maui Zowie. I remember that when we used to have round table here.
Yeah. All right. Well, then what's your next? What about cars?
They have to have an internal combustion engine.
Oh shit.
No, and I say, and it's funny. We just had this conversation because with the amount of driving that we do, and plus out here, to me, an electric car does not make sense for me. For my spouse, it does because it's just in town stuff.
Yeah. So neither one of those is both opinions can be popular and unpopular at the same time.
That's true. And I like the sound of an engine.
Yeah. I would say now unpopular opinion I have is that you have to have a stick shift if you're really into the joy of driving.
No, I would have to agree with you. I mean, I think it is unpopular. Those people like myself and Rich that have sports cars, everybody says, oh, you got to have a stick. No, because paddle shifting is just as fun. And not only that, but paddle shifting is what F1 uses. So I can pretend that we're in an F1 car.
What do we got here? Doesn't Rich have an automatic?
No.
Oh, his manual?
He has a 6-speed. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So,
I'll tell you. But what does this drive way too fast?
What?
Everybody can drive fast.
Yeah.
Right? The speed limit's like 65. Every car on the road can go over 65.
Yes, that is a very unpopular opinion there, Amber.
That's not.
No, we
that's
don't
just the truth.
That is not the truth. Those of us that have had them when we were younger got rid of them because we needed the money. Now we have the money to get them again, and they're fun.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an okay. This is not necessarily a popular or unpopular opinion, but since we're on cars, okay, you've got a 2 or a 3-lane highway. Now, a lot of regular in-town streets can be designated a highway depending on what the U.S. number is. Okay, so the far left lane should be empty unless you're passing. This is something that's been coming up more and more here. So, in other words, stay out of the left lane. You shouldn't be in the left lane unless you're going faster. Discuss.
Is that unpopular? We're just discussing opinions?
Well, out here, people just hang out in the left lane. They'll be doing, let's say the speed limit's 45, and they justify staying in that stupid lane because they're doing the speed limit. But it's like, dude, some of us want to drive faster than that. Yeah, we're breaking the law. So what? Get the hell out of the lane.
Well, no, I love it because I mentioned to you. So there's this very popular video YouTube guy who's a sheriff's deputy somewhere around you in Pinal County, wherever
Oh yeah.
that is. And the sheriff there, his thing is that when he's out patrolling, he goes after people like that, the left lane campers, and pulls them over, tells them your job isn't to control traffic, all that stuff. So yeah.
And actually, it's written in the law in the Arizona Revised Statute that lane is set for passing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think anybody would say it's okay to sit there in the left-hand lane. And where did John said? I agree. I used to have an Audi that had the paddle shifter. Well, actually, it wasn't paddle; it was buttons to shift. And very rarely would I put it in that mode. You have to specifically be like, I'm gonna go crazy and have a great time. And same thing that our Audi SUV has the paddle. It's like, what? It's a SUV. You're not gonna be. I hear, but John, I think the point is that if you're going to be saying to be a real driver and enjoy driving and stuff like that, you have to have the manual, because if you feel like it, you could switch over to paddle shifting, but most people don't, because it's a whole lot easier not to.
Well, and here was a counterpoint to Amber's statement. Well, and that's my. I would never drive a minivan. Sorry, can't do it. We'll never do it. Can't do it.
So at one point in my life, we did have a minivan, and the reality is it is super useful, and the engines on them actually are pretty darn powerful, and they're not slow. So, I mean, I get the whole look and the whole, like, it's when you have kids and who wants to drive one of those, but dang, you can load them things up, and yeah. What's the PB? Dang.
Probably talking about the minivans.
Yeah.
What other unpopular things, unpopular opinions that people would, if you have an opinion and people would say that's crazy?
Well, we covered it here already on a different show, but my whole, I don't like to say Gesundheit when people sneeze. That's my opinion of why do that for a sneeze but no other bodily function. I know that's a very unpopular opinion. Look who owns a minivan. Spider.
But see, I think, I put up you can get an SUV, and at least it has the styling.
It all depends what you're into it for, right? So practicality, just total usefulness. I would agree with Spotter. By far, it's more practical than an SUV. An SUV looks cooler. That's about all it has going for it, right? Maybe more ground clearance if you're actually going to need that for something.
I think what it is to me, and I know what Amber said about, people that buy sports cars after a certain age, but there are so few fun things in life anymore, and driving to me is one of them. Now, I know a lot of people think that you buy a car for one reason, the utilitarian factor of going from point A to point B back and forth.
No.
And see, I disagree. You have to, driving is fun. Driving is a blast. Driving fast is funner. Driving really fast is the funnest.
Well, that's not true, because if everybody thought it was just utilitarian, then everybody would have, what are those Toyota Prius? Super economical, right?
Sin.
Get you from, yeah. Well, that's the same thing. Yeah, the pick that I don't understand. Well, I get, so same point, right? Mm-hmm. This is just like styling and what you're into. But he's right. Like, you get especially the pickup trucks with the what is it, the tonneau cover, whatever you call that cover on the back. How are you supposed to haul plywood and refrigerators and all this stuff when you got a $1,500 thing covering up the whole back of your truck?
Well, I will argue that point, because when I had my Chevy Avalanche, it had a locking tonneau cover. Now, when you weren't hauling stuff like lumber and stuff like that, you took you took those covers off. But
Well, that seems like a pain in the ass.
no, it's easy. There were 3 panels. They just slid off, and then you put them back on, and then you've got a 6-foot trunk. You can put bodies back there. And
yeah, but when you put your case of beer in there and you stop and it slides all the way forward, you're crawling underneath there to get your beer out, right?
No, you have little retention devices.
I see. All right. Well, P-Beat says this, and I want to know if he had shag carpet in his van in the 70s. I'm really curious. And was it brown? Was it a brown van, P-Beat?
With the opera window in the back, and it had to have a mural on the side.
Nice. Oh, airbrushed.
Mhm.
Airbrushed on there. That would be hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this brings up something. This is a true statement. This is an actual true statement.
Oh,
4 trees, a dog, and 2 people in her truck. And these were not small trees. These were like 6-foot trees.
yeah.
All the way from Phoenix.
Well, you know what's crazy is when we need to haul bigger items, we have the SUV with the fold down seats.
Mm-hmm.
The Tesla has more storage space than that. When we go get our Christmas tree, that huge one we had this year, in the Tesla.
I had a BMW like that
Yeah.
the seats folded down and it had more room than anything.
Yeah. I think Amber's directing this comment at somebody very specific.
Getting a wife 10 years younger is a midlife crisis indicator. Yeah, but the problem is the person that she's pointing to is in the same room as she is.
Now this is what I'm. Yeah, I mean same thing, but I want. We're way off top. I guess that's the way our show goes.
Yeah,
anyway,
it just
though.
starts out honestly enough and sweet enough,
Yeah.
and then
So it should always be the topic we're starting with is I want the need for a trailer. I had a trailer at one point again with an SUV, and that's the funnest thing. You were looking for excuses to go be able to haul gravel and dirt and bark dust and wood and right.
Wait, back up. Why would you be hauling bark dust?
You know what I mean.
No.
Mulch.
Oh, mulch. Okay.
Mulch. Whatever. Stick with me here, buddy.
Well, I didn't know what bark dust was. You know, I'm from the desert.
It's covered in bark dust, isn't it? There?
Well, that's true. Yeah, so Rich's Corvette does have a trailer hitch. Which to me, that is blasphemy. That is blasphemy.
Well, your trailer would be like all angled down.
Yeah.
To the core. That means that somebody at some point had the need to tow something with the core. Oh, you know what it is? Midlife crisis car. He was towing his Harley with the 2 big seats, right? The seat in the back with the armrests and everything.
And he had a bunch of New Balance shoes, a bungee cord to it. No, I have a trailer. My motorcycle trailer is sitting right out there, but I got nothing to tow it with now because somebody took my truck away from me when they wrecked it. So,
you know,
that's a can of worms right there.
It's not a can of worms. So just because you have one vehicle doesn't mean that's the only one you have, right? So we've got 3 vehicles and only one's electric. And it's also about like you could work for one hospital but have insurance with another hospital or something like that, right? And like you're saying, it shouldn't be everything gets replaced with electric vehicles. There's a call for when gas vehicles are more useful, or also just you want the sound or you want the 6-speed because it's fun or whatever. I mean, it shouldn't be all or nothing.
Well, you remember after my truck got wrecked, we were looking very, very strongly at a Tesla. We decided not to, but only because they're a good deal.
Oh, it's on the front. This makes sense. You got those bike carriers that go into the trailer hitch and yeah.
Oh, okay. So here's an unpopular opinion. These people that have pickups that have these bicycle racks on the back of them, and yet you see them over and over again, and you never see a bicycle on the back of that bicycle rack. Ever.
Well, how do you know ever? That's probably like a Sunday morning thing, and they're going to the lake. And
No.
what? No, what? No, what?
Because you know what? If you've got a bicycle rack on your truck and you're
You
not
should
using
keep a
it for that
bike on it.
purpose, no. If you're not using it, take it off.
They're heavy.
It ruins the look of the vehicle.
Oh,
Just take it off.
jeez.
Just take it off.
Now who's the grumpy old man?
Well, you said unpopular opinions.
Whoops, what here? Electric tricycle. No, okay, wait. I've got I assume she means like kind of, what are they called? They're called trikes, right? Like the motorcycles with the two back wheels are trikes.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay. But you do not like those.
No. If it gets to the point where you're riding a motorcycle and you have to ride a trike, stop. It's time to get off the motorcycle. It's just time to get off. It's just no, because obviously if you're riding a trike, there's a balance issue there. And I'm sorry, I don't need somebody with balances issues on the road on a trike. No.
Yeah, but they're driving cars. The poor guy just wants to be out there with the wind and smelling the air and all this stuff. What about the opposite ones, the spiders with the two front wheels and the one in the back?
Those are actually pretty cool.
I see. So it's direction of the wheels that makes a difference.
Exactly. But here's an unpopular. I believe that whether you're riding a manually powered bike or an e-bike, as long as you're putting in the work, you're still a cyclist. And that's one of the biggest arguments that you see on a lot of these bicycling forums is if you have an e-bike, you're not really truly a cyclist, which I think is crap because you still have to put in the work. You still have to put in the work with most e-bikes, to pedal.
Oh, here you go. The trike with the big Corvette engine. You would still say get off the road.
Well, I'd try it once.
I bet it'd be fun.
It probably would.
I'd much rather, I rode a motorcycle, not like you, but I was never 100% comfortable like on the highways and when it got windy. I mean, I did not enjoy it when I was having to like battle wind and stuff like that. This kind of stuff to me would be fun when you're not worried about getting blown over or stuff like that. And
well, I will say the front wheel, like the spiders, they're fun to ride because they're a lot more controllable. Because the problem is with a motorcycle that's been turned into a trike, aside from the weight balance issues, the front ends can get very light. So you're starting to turn and you can feel a little bit of inertia. So
those spiders, do they tilt the body of the? Yeah, so that's probably different too.
Yeah, a lot of people love them.
And so I think we need to know if these are people's opinions or they're just throwing stuff out to stir the pot.
I think they're just.
I bet P-Beat doesn't believe this. Cruise ships are the only way to travel. I say they are a good way to get a taste of an area. If you're using it for travel, right? Because by themselves, that's a vacation, is being on a cruise ship.
Right.
And when we're like in the Caribbean and stuff like that, I could care less where we're stopping. And some stops we don't even get off the ship. We're just
that comes from somebody who's been cruising quite a bit. Before I make my comment on that, I had to put this up because I'm not quite sure what the connotation is, and I'll let you decide. I don't even know what the buzzer. No, I think there's two trains of thought with cruising. One, you get on the boat, you unpack once, and you just eat and relax, and just you're having a great time. The negative to it is that some people like to, they get upset with the structure. In other words, you pull into port at 6 a.m., you get off the boat at 8, you got to be back on by 4 because the boat's leaving. I understand that, but what you said nails it. It's a taste. In other words, let's say you go to Jamaica and you love it, but you're upset that you had 3 stops in Jamaica and you have to get off for 6 hours and then back on. Well, guess what? Go back to Jamaica on a flight, rent a hotel, and stay in Jamaica. But that's what I like about cruising is that you get to taste it. And Tig Lily brings up a good point. The Alaskan, the the inner passage on the Alaska cruise was the best. That's just wonderful.
Well, okay, so this is obviously opinion stuff, because you certainly can do that, but you're having to book different hotels everywhere and airplane flights and all this stuff versus you just get back on the ship, you have your dinner, you go to sleep, you wake up, you're somewhere new, and it's all taken care of for you.
Right.
Plus the cost. Well, I guess it depends how you do it, but I'm just thinking you add in all those. If you like cruise Europe and you're seeing 4 different countries in a week, one to do that with all the different, you get to the airport 2 hours beforehand, and then you fly, and then you get to your hotel and unpack, and then all this stuff. So it's a different
Well,
type.
here's another unpopular opinion when it comes to travel: is timeshares are a ripoff. They're really not, if you use them correctly. The problem is people go to these sales presentations and they get talked into it, and they never really learn how to use them. But once you learn how to use a timeshare, you can travel anywhere in the world. So that's, again,
Yeah. No, that's true. We learned that first. I think right? We bought a timeshare last time we were in Hawaii, and I'm sure that we'll go back, but we did not get it with the intention of going to Hawaii every year.
No, you're going to trade it, right?
Right. So we're going to Mexico for spring break to a resort there. We traded some points into another thing that we'll use in Washington, D.C. for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then here's
John brings up a good point. Yes, the TSC cruise we are going to definitely be looking at. I like this one. Use somebody else's; it's a better deal. And that's actually true. If you have friends that have timeshares and they're not going to use them, usually they'll either say, "Hey, pay my maintenance fee," or just go ahead and use it. We're not going to be able to use it this week. So that's smart. That's smart traveling right there. So only make friends with people that have timeshares.
Yeah, here we go. We are going back.
I guess you are going back to Hawaii.
Yeah. Now, see, he's right. The one thing is helicopters. I've never been in one.
Really?
And I get super motion sick. And so I don't think that I ever should. But you watch like the even Vegas, you can do like a night flight around Vegas, or like some places in Hawaii that you can only see by helicopter or boat or something like that. I'd love to do that, but you're
probably as you know, I spent a good portion of my military career riding around in helicopters. I think you'd be better off on a sightseeing aircraft, a plane, which they do have, the smaller planes, because they're not quite as, because the helicopter is going to get you down in there, especially in Hawaii when you're going over the volcanoes. He's going to be up at about 4,500 feet. And he's going to say, "Oh, look at this," and down you go. That may not be good.
Oh, jeez. See, he is just here, just trying to go ahead. You know what? In reality, it's not that they don't get you a close shave.
No, but it's the irritation that they cause after the fact. You don't need 14,000 blades to shave your face.
Right. You only need 7.
One.
And you can only get so close. I mean, once you're cutting the hair below the surface, how much closer can you get?
That's actually bad. Yeah,
that's bad. And those of us in the cadre know that you can get a shave that feels like a glass surface afterwards. How much closer are you going to get than that?
Well, and not only that, but if you look at the ingredients in the shave, if you look at the ingredients in shave gels, and then look at the ingredients in embalming fluid, there are a lot of similarities. A lot of nasty chemicals in the gels. I'll have to send you the article that I have. It's spooky as hell. You would never put this on your face.
Well, don't drink it. Don't.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's the. Oh, so here. What about being buried is a waste of space?
That is that my opinion on that has changed. As a Catholic, we were all, and as a matter of fact, as a Catholic, we were not allowed to be cremated. That was like, that's it. You're excommunicated from the church. That has changed. And the more and more I think about it, I would have to probably agree with that opinion. Not that I would fault anybody for being buried, but I do think that there's a better especially with the population of the world going up. I think there's a better usage for the land. I think cemeteries do. I mean, to me, cremation is the way to go, but that's just my opinion. And to me, I think what they ought to do is what they've been doing is, get a capsule, go over to Elon and say, hey, Mr. Musk, we want to rent 5,000 capsules on your. I mean, heck, he did it with a car. I mean, there's a car. There is literally a car with an astronaut in it cruising around our solar system.
You got to have Elon money to do that.
Well, I don't know.
So on one extreme, you got people that are like, put me in a cardboard box so that I can feed the earth and the plants and all this stuff. And then you got Dave saying, let's burn however many hydrocarbons to shoot me up in the atmosphere.
Yeah. I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle. No, but remember they were going to do it last 2 weeks ago. All those people paid thousands of dollars to have their ashes dropped on the moon.
Oh yeah.
And the Native Americans stopped it because the moon is considered sacred, and they didn't want to have a bunch of dead people in ashtrays littering the moon. Although we've littered the moon with tons of stuff.
Plus, it's not like your whole thing of ashes, right? Like you said, you just get a little bit of capsule and.
Hey, John, no, the cemeteries do not belong in the desert. I don't need a cemetery outside my back door.
The problem with that, and instead of like you just biodegrading and feeding Mother Nature in the desert, you just dry up and there'd be a whole bunch of mummies, which could eventually rise up and take over.
See, there's another point to why cremation works. Because what you said is true. If, in fact, the zombie apocalypse happens,
to be safe.
Yeah, all of a sudden, well, it's like that thing as kids. You don't walk through you'd walk down a street at midnight, no big deal. Would you walk through a cemetery at midnight? No. Why? Because in your psyche, there is a chance that a hand is going to come up through the ground and grab your ankle.
Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We all believe that.
Here. PB's got a request for you.
Can Drinks and Dave's hold a Scottsdale weekend? But given the show's budget, maybe Vultures. And the thing is, I'm surprised he mentions it. If it's the same Vulture City, because there's a road just west of Phoenix called Vulture Mine Road, and it leads up to a haunted mine called Vulture Mine, and Vulture City is up there. But
I tell you, if we ever got to the point where there was like 100 people on our live, I think we could certainly have a get together, something like that.
Well, absolutely.
I don't think that all these folks would want to spend more than this hour with us every week.
This is true, but one thing that we have to invite everybody to do is the largest gem show on the planet is going to be starting in the next 2 weeks here in Tucson. And it's
you're
amazing.
In trouble.
No, I've got all the meteorites I need, and I'm not going to buy any more until this other person I know gets a ring made like he was supposed to.
We're already this show went fast. We're already at an hour 15.
And we didn't even get into the really dirty political opinions and conspiracy opinions, like how many people. An unpopular opinion is that Lee Harvey Oswald was not the only man that killed Kennedy.
All right. You said there's a documentary coming out about that, right?
Yes. Rob Reiner is saying that they're going to name names. They're actually going to name names.
All right. Well, when that comes out, we'll watch it and then we'll have a discussion.
Well, the thing is, what I'm worried about is I'm worried that Rob Reiner is going to name Inigo Montoya is one of them. He's going to name what was Max and Andre the Giant. Those are going to be the people.
Yeah.
Let's finish the show with this. Put your top, and this is for the barflies, put your very top unpopular opinion, and we'll discuss it for a couple of seconds. So put the one that you think, no. They were doing it based on the subject. It can be any subject. What is your most unpopular opinion that when people look at you and you say this, they look at you like you've lost your marbles?
Yeah.
Now, of course, nobody's going to put anything in there.
No. What's one very popular place that people like to go to on vacation that you would never go back to?
Probably right now, Disneyland.
Just
Probably
because
Disneyland.
you're too old for it?
No, it's just too expensive. I think that they've
All right.
they've made it too elite for people to go to. Unless you live in California, then you get cheap prices. But I remember as a kid, it was $28.
Yeah.
No,
Here's
granted,
Amber's opinion: dogs are better than cats.
I used to agree with that opinion until I had cats.
Okay, well, you have both now.
Yes. The cats are less maintenance for sure. You can leave for a week and leave them enough food and water. And when you come home, they go, "Did you leave?" Can't do that with a dog.
That's true. That's true. I would enjoy, yeah. I mean, so from a practical point of view, I agree with you. But there's nothing like wrestling. So our cats don't like to be held, or they decide when they want to be touched. And dogs always want, like, they lick your face and they'll wrestle with you and all that stuff. I much prefer the companionship that a dog gives.
But see, I think that depends on how you raise the cat, because we have cats that are just literally they're teddy bears. They fetch. They do all the things that the dog does except bark. Well, I take that back. We actually caught our Siamese cat barking once. It was the scariest. It was weird.
I think this is a different topic that
Cats don't have souls.
Get into.
So this is one that I know is a very big unpopular opinion for this person, and that's this. You want that statement, like if I look, you can say, "Oh, you know what, Dave? You just want your cake, and you want to eat it too.
Yeah,
or you want to have your cake and eat it too."
Yeah.
This is a debate in our house for the last 30 years, because according to this person, you want to have your cake and eat it too. To me, you want your cake and eat it too. I think it's the same thing, but I'm not even that, and I guarantee as soon as this show's over, it will be the topic of the next 2 hours. So that's an unpopular opinion. John says that he'd never go back to New Orleans.
I believe that. It's you see the pictures, right, of the costumes and the music, but I hear it doesn't smell that great, and lots of
the French Quarter is nasty.
And
after about 11 o'clock, it gets really nasty. Here's a good one. Spiders and snakes make great pets. That's an opinion. Now, thanks to Spider, I have become much more tolerant of the large 8-legged creatures that we have roaming around here in the desert.
Outside.
Actually, inside too. I will actually attempt sometimes to catch. Most of the time they get sucked up by the vacuum cleaner. But
accidentally?
Yes, accidentally, because I saw something up in the corner. But no, I've gotten better with letting them be, because I realize that they do help. They keep the insects down. Snakes I've always liked, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. Well, no, I think he's right. That is a very unpopular opinion, but people that have them, I see them, carrying around the snake, and it seems like it could be kind of a fun thing. But yeah, it gives people heebie-jeebies just having to think about it.
Well, and we also we have an opinion on whether cats have souls or not. I think they have souls. I think they do have souls. This is probably one of the biggie, and we probably don't have enough time. Yeah, you just put it up there. That's probably the biggest one. That climate change is garbage.
Well, yeah, I think you could generalize that into people that disbelieve science just because.
Well, the thing is, a statement like that, where climate change is garbage, the climate's always changing, so that kind of negates that argument, in my opinion. The climate's always changing because we are not static in space. In other words,
oh my gosh, are you and I going to have to get into this one at some point?
No. What I'm saying is the sun is right here. The planets circle the sun, but the sun is moving through the galaxy. In fact, if you look at it, we're doing this. So things are always going to be changing, and there is space weather that does affect the planet. So yeah, the climate is always changing. Now, are we helping it change? You could argue yes, and I would agree with that. Now, are we doing it as extremely as some proponents say? No, because I'm sorry, that's an in my opinion, that is an egotistical. So the planet's been around for 4 billion years. If it wants to change and it wants us out, it's just going to take us out. There's been
Right,
5
but
extinctions.
the argument would be we're driving it to that, right?
I think we're going through cycles, because remember, if you look at historical records, they only go back hundreds of years. The planet's 4 billion years old.
No, that's not true though, because they can do through, analysis of trees that, well, I guess, right. It's only hundreds or thousands of years, and we're millions of years old. So I guess you could say maybe, but
do we have an effect on it? Yes, I agree 100%. Do we have an effect on it?
We can end it with that then. We can all agree that we've had some effect on the climate.
Absolutely.
But some people say that we haven't, despite all the proof that we have.
Exactly. And this is, where is George Carlin and when we need him?
Right. Here's an unpopular. You can buy class. No, which is proven by all the people that buy like gold fixtures for their bathrooms and things like that.
Well,
gold teeth.
Well, I have a problem with the gold teeth thing. The grill, as they call them, I guess the kids call them the grills.
The grills.
But I'm looking for the one comment that Rich put up talking about watches, that buying homage watches or watches that aren't, yes, knockoff watches are more fun than real watches. To me, when it comes to watches, because that is a very, very big.
You hit the sore subject, Rich.
Well, yeah, because it is a big opinion. That there are a lot of people out there that say if you can't buy a brand name watch, then what the hell are you doing buying a watch? Why buy a knockoff? To me, the only thing I would say is if you want to buy an homage watch that's made by a different company that looks just like the high-end watch, fine. But don't buy the knockoff that says that, because it's already been proven that a lot of times when you buy a fake Rolex or a fake Omega or a fake this or a fake that, that you are supporting bad people, terrorist organizations. So I agree with that. But at the end of the day, if you like the watch, buy it. Who cares? I mean, who cares?
There you go. All righty, buddy.
So, well, thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this show. And as always, Dave will put up our little banner there. Make sure you tell all your folks to like and subscribe, and send us an email or a PM to let us know what kind of subjects you want us to do. We're working on getting some guests, and we'll keep you updated on that. And other than that, I think that's about it, Dave. Don't you think so? What's your opinion?
My unpopular opinion is we should do this for 8 hours. Let's go all night long.
Hey, wait a minute. We have to find out from the folks in the chat. Would they be willing for a marathon?
Oh, geez.
The Drinks and Days marathon.
Sure, you guys do that. And
6 in the morning, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Let's do a telethon.
Yes, we could do it for a charity. Yes. I know what it is. We do it the cat telethon to ensure that there are souls in cats.
Buy souls for cats.
Buy souls for the cats.
Sage.
That would work.
Yeah.
That would work. Say goodnight, Dave.
Night, Dave.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon.